Hi, I'm Erin Ashby. Erin Ashby has the night off. Here are some things going on. 3 of 9 jurors were dismissed today in the first trial against White House aide Scooter Libby regarding the outing of CIA officer Valerie Plame. The jurors were asked about their feelings about the White House and Scooter. Mostly they had strong feelings about Bush and Cheney, and unexpectedly negative feelings about Scooter. The names were Miss Piggy, Swedish Chef, and due to a long-time familial estrangement, Skeeter. Well, the president made a speech last week announcing he would send 21,500 more troops to Iraq. The speech is only 20 minutes, and I don't think he had time to really talk about anything else, but let's take a look.
Radical Shia elements, some supported by Iran. Iran would be emboldened in its pursuit of nuclear weapons. This begins with addressing Iran and Syria. Iran is providing material support for attacks. We'll interrupt the flow of support from Iran and Syria, prevent Iran from gaining nuclear weapons.
Oh, Johnny Cochran. All right, it's too depressing. Here's my advice. Don't watch the president's speeches, but if you're going to, turn on Wizard of Oz and Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon and watch and listen to it all simultaneously. Let's take a look.
Even if our new strategy works exactly as planned, deadly acts of violence will continue, and we must expect more Iraqi and American casualties. The question is whether our new strategy will bring us closer to success. I believe that it will.
Also, get really high and turn off the speech. Testifying before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee the other day, Condoleezza Rice said that the sending of over 20,000 new troops to Iraq, or recycled troops, is not an escalation, but an augmentation. Now, some have criticized this term and called it silly and double talk, but I think I can explain with this diagram.
Okay, now this is Iraq. This is Baghdad. Baghdad, I believe I spelled that right, who knows. And this is the front line where all the fighting is happening between American troops and insurgents, Sunni Shiites. As you can see, we just want to change the shape of the battle slightly. So what we're going to do is we're going to send in the majority of our troops right behind Baghdad. Now that doesn't look like a big change, but what it's going to do is just round everything out right here. It'll lift things up like that, and then that's going to push everything forward and make it a little rounder, even rounder than that, I think. Yeah. Right here, this line is where we're going to be. But nothing skanky, very natural. And then we're just going to move everything that's happening in Baghdad slightly up into the back, up here, right there, for a perkier look. And at first there's going to be some swelling, but then it's going to look fantastic. I think the American people and the Iraqis will be very happy. There might be a little scarring.
In reaction to Bush's plan to send yet more troops to Iraq, the Democrats, now with a mandate for change and a real voice, took the courage to decide to hold a symbolic vote against it, a non-binding resolution showing their opposition. Soldiers on the ground in Iraq took the time to applaud the symbolic vote by symbolically dodging bullets, metaphorically shooting through human shields, and with a depth of allegorical meaning that even Joseph Campbell would admire, getting blown up by IEDs. So not only the execution but the burial of Saddam Hussein's crusty, rotting corpse has aired on YouTube. Personally, I'm not surprised that Saddam's burial was recorded and posted on the internet. I think that was inevitable. What shocks me is that it wasn't Saddam at all. It was just some little actress dressed up like Saddam and 2 amateur filmmakers. Oh, lonely Saddam 15. You made us care. Also in the news, Steve Jobs has just revealed Apple's iPhone. It's a combination cell phone, video, iPod, web browser, camera, photo album, moisturizer, Red Bull, electric car, and George Foreman grill. And this just in, Steve Jobs has been appointed the Secretary of Defense to revitalize Iraq just like he revitalized the phone and the music player. From now on, all future battles between American soldiers, insurgents, Shiites, and Sunnis will be set on shuffle, and all future government positions in Iraq will be appointed by clickwheel. And now, an editorial comment.
Turn that shit up.
Last week, the FDA approved cloned food for consumption by the public. And yet, according to a lot of recent polls, most of the public is wary and frightened of cloned food. Now, don't tell me you haven't watched Star Trek and seen that food, the replicated food, just pop up out of nowhere and thought, man, I wish I had a replicator. I wish I could make food, energy, or matter out of energy that tasted a lot like baby back ribs. Well, where do you think that starts? Cloned food, my friend. But if you stand in the way of beaming technology, I will be forced to march on Washington. And why will I be marching? Because I want to have beaming technology!
Lights out, gorilla